Why did the teacher quit? Because the damn coffee machine was broken. Just kidding, but maybe not too far from the truth. Now, before you scoff at the idea, let's take a moment to think about it. We've all had those days where nothing seems to go right, and the only thing keeping us going is that cup of caffeine. Now imagine that, but in a classroom filled with energetic, sometimes disrespectful kids, towering stacks of papers to grade, and oh, did we mention the gazillion meetings you have to attend after you cover for a perpetually absent colleague? It might seem like we're poking fun, and we are, a little. But beneath the humor, there's a real conversation to be had about the challenges teachers face. The reasons they leave the profession can be surprisingly simple, yet profoundly impactful. From unending workloads to broken coffee machines, the struggle is real. So let's dive into some reasons why teachers call it quits. Ever wondered what teachers do in their free time? Well, when they aren't mentally exhausted about going back to work in the next 24 to 48 hours, they're grading a stack of unending papers. Imagine a mountain of tests and essays, each one screaming for attention, each one a testament to a student's effort or lack thereof. This is the reality that greets a teacher after a long day of teaching, meetings, and dealing with all sorts of school drama. The grading process is like a never-ending marathon that teachers must run. And it's not just about slapping a letter or a percentage on a piece of paper. Oh no, it's an intricate dance that requires understanding, analysis, and constructive feedback if students are to make reasonable progress. It's about deciphering the broken hieroglyphics that some students call handwriting, and it's about providing encouragement and guidance, all while trying to maintain some semblance of a personal life. Let's not forget the late-night grading sessions, the weekends spent buried in essays, and the holidays hijacked by exams that need marking. The red pen becomes a permanent fixture in a teacher's hand, and the scent of paper and ink becomes their signature perfume or cologne. This ceaseless cycle often leads to teacher burnout. The sense of being overwhelmed, the feeling of being trapped in a loop of marking and grading, it can be too much. And when the grading spills over into personal time, it can lead to a sense of resentment, a loss of passion for the profession, and ultimately, anxiety, health issues, and a desire to quit. Burnout is a silent predator, lurking in the shadows of the teaching profession. It's the elephant in the room that no one wants to acknowledge, but it's there, and it's real. It's the result of unending demands of all types, the constant expectation to do more, be more, endure more, and give more. So if you ever find yourself spending leisure time with a teacher, and there's a far-off look in their eyes, know this: it's probably Sunday night, and they're dreading the shenanigans due to them in less than 24 hours. Remember the joke about the broken coffee machine? Well, it's not entirely a joke. Indeed, this seemingly trivial issue is actually a symbol of a much deeper problem that teachers often face: a lack of the basics. Although the job can be done without extravagant resources and support, it'd be much more pleasant and powerful if teachers had everything they needed. No coffee coupled with low pay? Oh hell no. It's like the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. It's enough to dampen anyone's spirits. Now let's take that broken coffee machine and multiply it by 100. That's what it can feel like working in an environment where the resources are stretched thin, where you're expected to perform miracles without the necessary support. It's not just about caffeine deprivation, it's about feeling undervalued and overlooked. A broken coffee machine can be a metaphor for outdated textbooks, overcrowded classrooms, lack of teaching aids, or even insufficient time for planning and preparation. Each of these issues, like a small crack, can contribute to a teacher's growing sense of frustration. And when these cracks start to multiply, they can lead to a feeling of being overwhelmed, underappreciated, and eventually burnt out. Teachers are passionate individuals who pour their hearts into educating the next generation. But even the most passionate and committed teachers can find it hard to keep the flame alive when they're constantly battling issues without the support they need. How can you keep pouring from an empty cup? So the next time you see a teacher staring longingly at a broken coffee machine, it's not just about the coffee. It's a silent plea for help, a sign of a dedicated professional feeling the strain of trying to do their best in less than ideal conditions. It's a reminder that teachers, like everyone else, need the right tools and support to do their jobs effectively. Next time you see a teacher staring off into space, you know what's up. You think your parents are tough? Try meeting with some of them professionally, and that's if they even show up. Parent-teacher conferences. that time-honored tradition where educators meet face-to-face with the people who have the highest expectations of them, the parents. Imagine this. You've spent a day managing scores of different personalities. You've put in the effort, planning lessons, grading papers, and somehow keeping your sanity intact. Then, just when you thought you could finally breathe, it's time to connect with parents. Many parents are genuinely good people, but some parents, ooh child, bless their hearts. You have the ones who believe their child is the next Einstein, despite all evidence to the contrary. They demand to know why their brilliant offspring isn't getting straight A's. Then there's the parent who thinks you have a personal vendetta against their child because you repeatedly ask them to cover their germ-filled mouths when they cough. Okay, the 7th time you asked, you might have yelled, "Oh well." And let's not forget the parents who act as if you've personally offended them when you suggest their child might need a bit of extra help. Or the ones who believe that because they pay taxes, they're entitled to dictate the way you run your class. You also encounter parents who are certain they know better than you do about what should be taught. After all, they did go to school themselves, right? So surely they're experts on the educational system. Then there's the outright hostility. The parents who come in guns blazing, ready to argue about anything and everything. These interactions can be exhausting and demoralizing as teachers strive to maintain professionalism and patience, leading to stress and burnout. Teachers want to build positive relationships with parents, but not at the expense of their own human dignity. Ever read a job description that says other duties as assigned? For teachers, those other duties can be a real deal breaker. You see, being a teacher isn't just about teaching. Oh no, it's about wearing many hats, all at once. Imagine being a superhero, but instead of saving the world, you're supervising lunch, keeping kids safe in the bus lane, organizing talent shows, and running after-school clubs. Now, don't get me wrong. Many teachers love getting involved in different aspects of school life. After all, it's a chance to connect with students outside the classroom and contribute to the school community. But there's a fine line between being involved and being overworked. You see, these other duties can quickly pile up, leaving teachers with little time for their primary responsibility, teaching. And when the balance tips too far, it's not uncommon for teachers to feel overwhelmed, leading to burnout and in some cases, quitting. Think of it like this. If you're a chef, you wouldn't want to spend most of your time washing dishes or serving tables, would you? You'd want to cook, create, and serve up amazing dishes. The same logic applies to teachers. They want to teach, inspire, and equip students with knowledge and skills for the future. But when other duties start to take over, when lesson planning becomes secondary to lunch supervision, when grading papers plays second fiddle to coaching sports, it's a clear sign that something's got to give. And sometimes, that something is the job itself. So, there you have it, folks. The funny, but not really funny, reasons why teachers quit. We've explored the never-ending grading, spending more time with papers than people. We've delved into the horrors of a broken coffee machine, the lifeblood of many educators. We've navigated the treacherous waters of parent conferences, where expectations and reality often clash. And we've also donned the many hats that come with the ominous other duties as assigned. These challenges, while presented with a touch of humor, underscore a serious issue. Teachers are fundamental to our society, and their concerns shouldn't be taken lightly. They need our support, our understanding, and yes, a functioning coffee machine wouldn't hurt either. So let's make an effort to appreciate our teachers more, to understand their challenges and help ease their burdens. As teachers wait indefinitely and urgently for coffee machine repairs, remember that we all have options. For some, staying in the profession requires a daily reminder for why they became teachers in the first place, to provide the much-needed support our youth requires. You might even save a life. For others, that ship has sailed to the Bermuda Triangle and got trapped in a ghastly portal of chaos and compromised health. If the latter applies to you, get out. Save yourself. Anyhow, if this video struck a nerve, leave a like and a comment. We'd love to interact with you. While you're at it, share, subscribe, and visit www.thescholarsplace.com for helpful content and resources you can use in and out of the classroom. Until next time, be scholarly.